Alright, well, here's the thing. We've seen Genshin absolutely dominate many controversies they were in due to their sheer power and number. But even a titan like Genshin is not invincible. Sometimes you lose the battle to win the war, and sometimes you just flat out lose the war. And that's exactly what happened on the battlefield of r/place in 2022. So just in case you don't know what r/place is, it's just a subreddit on Reddit. The message board website with admins that look like this. That's all you need to know about Reddit. It's terrible. But this subreddit is different. You can't just post posts, you also have a canvas. A huge canvas that you can draw on with everyone else who has a Reddit account. The entire concept was dubbed an experiment by its creator in 2017, and this was the final result. It was awesome to see so many communities and people that share the same interest come together to leave their mark on what was known as the canvas of the internet. This experiment lasted for 72 hours, and then after that closed for what people thought was forever. But then out of nowhere, there was a huge announcement. 2022, April 1st, r/place is coming back. So immediately, all the biggest Reddit communities started thinking, what are we going to draw? How are we going to do it? How are we going to coordinate it? And how are we going to defend it? This is big. This is huge. We can make our mark on the internet once more. For example, Germany was one of the biggest players on r/place 2022. They had a huge presence, so much so that other countries planned a counter-offensive against them. And this is how they managed it. Look at this. They have diplomats, designers, bot devs, assistants, 17,000 users. They have Night Watch, for fuck's sake. Night Watch. 100 people in a voice channel at a time. This is how huge this is, okay? Almost to a ridiculous level. They made a fucking supply chain out of r/place. Typical Germans bringing the expertise of German engineering into an online competition. Genshin was no different. This was what they were trying to do. This was posted on the Genshin Impact subreddit 2 years ago in 2022. They wanted to make this and defend it over the course of the event, which was also going to be 72 hours. The plan was to make a Genshin Impact logo on the top left of the canvas, not too big, not too small, just something that was enough to leave their mark. And why wouldn't they? I mean, this is a community with over 65 million active monthly players, right? You'd think this is a piece of cake, right? You'd think this is easy. I mean, they took down the entire Google Play Store. They can do this, right? Well, that's what you would think. When r/place first started out, they weren't doing too badly, all right? This was within the first few hours of it opening. As you can see, Genshin having a hard time adding impact. I think they just gave up at that point. But you would think things were going well. But this only lasted for a few hours, and then absolute chaos ensued in this area of the canvas. I mean, don't get me wrong, okay? The entire canvas is pure chaos, but this area in particular was a special kind of chaos, as is anything that has Genshin involved. This meme right here sums it up, okay? The expectation was Genshin, the reality was Genshin. The community, as powerful as it was, they just couldn't, for the life of them, defend the N from turning into a T. They just couldn't. Like, you can see the black pixels here trying to be overwritten on the white ones. They were trying to destroy the T, but they just couldn't. Every time they would add a black pixel, someone else would come in and add a white one, leaving the T almost intact. And I wish this was as bad as it got. This is only the beginning, okay? It got way worse. This was literally the battle of the internet versus Genshin, alright? And one thing I forgot to mention is that the only people with absolute control on the canvas are, of course, the Reddit admins I mentioned earlier. Unlike normal users who could place only one pixel every 5 minutes, Reddit admins could do whatever the hell they wanted, but only when rules were broken. Nudity, hate speech, and anything deemed as threats or just, you know, offensively weird. Yeah, let's just say offensively weird. That's a new term. You can use it whenever you want, dude. Go ahead. Please, by all means. So since the internet wanted to get rid of Genshin the quickest way possible, knowing that the Genshin community is gonna put up a fight, they wanted to turn the logo even more offensive to have the Reddit admins maybe just flat out delete it. So the amazing minds of the other communities trying to take down this logo came up with the next iteration, which is the absolute chaos in this one image gives you an idea of how chaotic this entire thing was. Oh my god, man, like the Among Us right here, the fact that it says gay sh**. And even better, if you notice, in the middle, the S turned into the one and only Shrek logo, which was the beginning of something way worse than this. Yes, it got worse than gay shit. Or better, actually, I should say. Because next, the logo turned into Gen Shrek. Out of nowhere, right? It just turned into Gen Shrek. I mean, at this point, one can realize, right, this was a losing battle. The Genshin community knew this. They were trying their best. You can see some traces of the battle, but in reality, like, the fact is, Shrek took over. It was done. Or was it? Of course it wasn't. This was still not even the end result. Because you still had Gen over here, and they wanted to erase every trace of the Genshin Impact logo. So that meant turning it into Sex Shrek. It's just... Sex Shrek, dude. They just were like, dude, what are we gonna replace Gen with? Fuck it, just sex. Like, just go ahead. Like, as long as we get rid of Genshin, just anything, dude. Just put anything there. And you have the clown at the bottom. Like, just sitting there. So, you know, this was gone, right? Like, the Genshin Impact community's plan of putting the logo here, we can safely say it was over. Like, there was some retaliation, but it was practically done. This was the final canvas of 2022, right? And the battle of Genshin versus Shrek happened around here. And if we zoom in, we can see that even the Sex Shrek logo is gone. In fact, there's not a single trace of the battle. Everything was just gone. This is why it's so important to preserve this piece of history. But it doesn't end here, because after the fact, some people were coming out saying that this was a targeted attack on the Genshin community specifically. The reasoning is simple. These were the surviving creations on the canvas, and they're very cute. This is Xiao's mask. These are the logos of Honkai Impact and Genshin Impact. Even though they look a bit derpy, it's okay. They still look cute. Here's Venti, a part of the Dutch flag and its icons. Very interesting choice you guys made, huh? Definitely unexpected, because I thought the femboy lovers were in Poland. And speaking of Poland, here's Hu Tao on the Poland ball with her ghost, Ayaka, Paimon, oh, and Discount El Haitham right here. Now there's something very important I want you to pay attention to. You see this right here? These are Chinese characters. And what they say is Genshin Impact, right? But this area of the canvas was barely attacked. In fact, even these areas were barely attacked. Any of these pieces of art were barely attacked. And the reason why is very simple. You see, the internet isn't aware of these things. It's just that when they see Genshin Impact, they want to erase it. But they don't know what Hoyoverse is. They don't know what MiHoYo is. They don't know what the Genshin Impact in Chinese looks like. They don't know what these characters are. They have no idea. So they were left alone, further proving the point that they attack Genshin Impact because it's just Genshin Impact. And you gotta wonder why. Why would you ever hate the Genshin community? Why? I mean, like, I'm really curious. I mean, you know, it's not like they did something ridiculous, like take over the Google Play Store and start review bombing games that had nothing to do with their game just because they were dissatisfied with their developer's decision on anniversary rewards. No, they would. That's ridiculous, dude. There's no reason for other communities to dislike them. But that was the case, okay? They had a very infamous reputation on the internet. Now, this entire incident, of course, led to the creation of many memes, as you can see from this right here on the r/play subreddit with 88,000 upvotes. Genshin, Genshin, Gay Gen Shrek, Sex Shrek, the evolution of Genshin. Look at this. Even in the beginning, people were all up against them. They barely got the end done immediately, trying to defend against the T. The T just would not go away. It just stayed there. The S was being chased. Among Us, Shrek, the whole logo, and Sex Shrek. There you go. Yeah, I don't know what the hell this is. What the fuck? So here's something you probably weren't expecting. The Genshin community was very cool about it. You know, I'm seeing this in general on the Genshin Impact subreddit. The community there is actually really damn cool. And they're not hot-headed at all. You can see they're being very good sports. And look, credit where it's due. They took it like champs. So when is the Shrek banner coming? Yeah, I'm still waiting. But the story does not end here, my friends, because the next year, this year, right now, 4 months ago, r/plays came back for yet another fresh canvas. So in 2022, the Genshin community learned a lot. Coming back in 2023, they already knew. Just don't use English names and we are all good. That's pretty much it. Or so they thought. So they were very ambitious with what they wanted to do. this beautiful piece of art right here with the Genshin logo, of course, in Chinese, so that no one really knows what it is outside of the Genshin community. Now, personally speaking, I think the best part of 2023's r/place was the fact that Canada could not draw a leaf. It was the best part. Listen, forget about Genshin drama. This was the best part of the entire canvas. They just could not draw a leaf. They couldn't coordinate it. They couldn't get it done. All the other countries did it. They just couldn't. In fact, it just turned into the flag of bananas. They just could not draw a leaf. It just turned into the banana flag. I love this stupid canvas. So to sum up how it went for Genshin 2023, there's this great video by Carahart that shows you not only the time lapse, but also there's an attack counter that shows you just how many times they got invaded by other communities while they were trying to build this masterpiece. So let's check it out at X2 speed because I have the attention span of a frog, and here we go. So the attack counter already went once. You saw what happened. It's going to happen multiple times now. They're trying to draw the eyes. They're having a hard time drawing the eyes. They keep getting attacked, but it's fine. Attack counter, 3, 4. It just keeps going. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They just keep getting attacked over and over. Look at all the art pieces around it. Compared to this one, they're barely getting touched. This one, on the other hand, just keeps getting invaded, like all at once. I think there was like one Russian streamer in particular targeting only Genshin. There were streamer alliances targeting and not targeting, particularly on what they agreed on. It's just war. It's really crazy to look at. Like, all of a sudden, you're just drawing, and all of a sudden, the community comes in and just left clicks all over, absolutely destroys the piece of art, but then the Genshin community recovers it. Like, look at that, dude. That's insane. Like, at some point, this was the art, and they somehow recovered all of it. Well, almost, but I mean, look at this. There were streamers, there were other communities, there were people. Holy moly! I mean, look, usually the communities that were attacked on the spot were either furries, bronies, or Genshin Impact, as you can see. So of course the attacks kept coming and coming and coming. Okay, that sounds really bad. Please don't take it out of context. Look at all these, like, look at that. Look at that. That is crazy. That is insane. The entire thing got wiped, but guess what? They don't give up. This time they're not giving up. There's not gonna be another Shrek incident this time. That's what they thought, at least. But it's very impressive how resilient they kept being during this whole thing, right? Now, unfortunately, this was the end result. As you can see, they got attacked until the very last second. At least the logo survived, all right? Let's just, I mean, if we're gonna find positive points, right? The silver lining here is that at least the logo survived, but unfortunately the art itself could not make it through. Of course, there was this big thread on r/place giving proof and talking about communities, streamers, all sorts of people targeting Genshin on purpose with proof. Many of these posts got taken down by admins due to their nature of going against the rules in terms of hate speech and whatnot. But it doesn't come as a surprise. As I mentioned before, there are people who do have a sense of hostility, let's just say, against the Genshin community. In fact, here's my favorite part. Someone made a heat map of r/place, and they found that the place that was most left-clicked on all the canvas, right? We're talking like God knows how many people, was the little area of the Genshin art. Look at this. It looks like a raging supernova according to them, and they're absolutely right. Dozens of attacks from dozens of different communities, and they still managed to hold out. I mean, honestly, the end result was impressive, just due to the sheer number of how many people attacked them. So all this makes me curious. Are they gonna make a crazy comeback next year? Because as big as the Genshin community is, I doubt all of them dwell on Reddit. So will the Genshin Impact subreddit manage to raise enough awareness to get more people on this and actually, for once, finish a proper big piece of art that truly represents the 65 million active players this game has? Only time will tell. But listen, this goes out to all the Genshin haters watching this video. Please, if you're gonna take down the Genshin community in 2024, please, we need to see the return of Sex Shrek. I'm not gonna take anything else. I don't want just these dumbass random attacks you're gonna do just left-clicking the white color. No. I want to see the return of Shrek, okay? That is the only acceptable nemesis of Genshin that can win without anyone getting salty, okay? So 2024, Genshin versus Shrek, make it happen, or I don't want none of it, okay? And guys, great news. We have a new band member yet again joining our Discord band. This time, it's a little different. All of our previous band members have been female, and there has been a huge demand by my substantial female community to bring in a male character. And what better way to bring in a male character than the femboy himself, Venti, meticulously playing his signature instrument in the Discord. Join it right now to hear him playing. Subscribe to the channel if you like the videos, guys. We're so close to 100K. That is insane. Thank you. Follow my XXX for funny ass tweets. You're gonna laugh your ass off every time you scroll through your Roll34 Twitter feed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week, which will probably be an interactive map video. Love you. Mwah.